Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. This is heavy rotation number 3. If you didn't see my first 2, that's okay. Heavy rotation is just, I try to do a weekly video of what I'm listening to, what I'm finding, and even some old things I'm pulling out from my collection and appreciating. So trying to get better about appreciating what I already have rather than just listening to the new stuff I get. But found a lot of good stuff this week, and I also pulled out a lot of old stuff. And it was cool because some of the albums, I really found weird connections between all of them. It's kind of funny. It was completely random what albums I got, but then I noticed a lot of them were connected in some cool ways, so I'll go over that. First album, I found this album a few weeks ago. I've had it for a while. This is Bob Weir, Ace. I talked about this in my Grateful Dead video I did. I have had this album forever, but I found this. This is a white label promo, and it's got a cool hype sticker on it. I just found this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I've been listening to it, kind of, again, reappreciating it, and man, this is so good. And it's really funny to me that most of these songs are Grateful Dead standards, like live standards that are on a lot of their live albums, especially Saturday Night, Mexicali Blues, One More Saturday Night, Playing with the Band, all that stuff. There's some really great songs in here, but this is essentially a Grateful Dead album. The only person missing is Pigpen, and he was in bad health when they were recording this, so he couldn't be there to play on it. But this came out close to the same time Mickey Hart released his, and Jerry Garcia released Garcia. So they were all kind of branching out doing solo stuff. But I think it's really cool that they explored that solo career for each of them, but then also like really participated in them. So this is the one I think that's the most like the Dead, even more than Jerry Garcia's. And so, I mean, Bob Weir, Jerry Garcia is the iconic, Dead member. If anyone knows anyone, it's Jerry Garcia. He's so iconic looking and sounding and all that stuff. But Bob Weir was fantastic, incredible songwriter, incredible player. Just really, this is evidence of that. Really good stuff. Like I said, essentially a Dead album because they all played on it. So pretty cool. And then along the same lines, I talked about this in my Dead video that I hadn't opened this yet. This is a Record Store Day release from 1980, the Warfield, San Francisco. This is a 2 LP acoustic live show. And it's killer, man. This is really good. I listened to it the other day. Really enjoyed that. Pretty cool stuff. So this is an interesting it's going to be a fun story time for you. So this Fairport Convention, Unhalf Breaking, this is an incredible record. Earlier, when I was collecting, I heard that Fairport Convention was like essential English folk rock, so I tried to get some of their stuff. Leaf and Liege is they're like one of their more well-known albums, and that one was it was always kind of okay to me. It didn't really grab me. And it sounded good and everything, but whatever. Richard Thompson's one of my favorite songwriters. Oh my gosh. Little tidbit. Richard Thompson has a song, 1952, Vincent Black Lightning, and it is amazing. If you haven't heard that song, look it up. It is legitimately one of my favorite songs ever written. It's insane. It's amazing. But anyways, Richard Thompson played guitar in this band. Fairport Convention is just like early seminal English folk rock, but a lot of their later stuff, I'm just not into it. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's not something I would ever recommend. And a few years ago, I'd seen this album and I had it, and I even like last year, people have been recommending it to me, and I was like, Fairport Convention, whatever. And I got a hold of a copy, and I listened to it. I was blown away. So I've had a copy for a year or so that's kind of an okay shape, and this one's a lot nicer. This is a First UK. I'll show you the beautiful island label. I can't not show you this, but really nice. Like I said, First UK. But I've always wondered what this cover was all about. So I did some digging, did some research, found out a lot of cool things about this record. So Sandy Denny is the singer, and man, she is amazing. Incredible female vocalist. And you've heard her, even if you don't think you have. Sandy Denny sang the duo Battle for Evermore on Zeppelin 4, which, yeah, I'm a big Zeppelin guy. but she's amazing. And this is actually her home, her childhood home, and this is Sandy Denny's parents, and this is the band in the backyard. So that's what that photograph is all about. And that's all of them on the back sitting around eating. Really crazy story about this one. So they recorded it with the full band, everything. And then 2 months before the album came out, there was a really bad car accident when the band was going from one place to the next. Martin Lamble, I think is the one. Yeah, he's the drummer. He passed away in the car accident, and Richard Thompson's girlfriend passed away in the car accident. She's not in the band, but she was there. And it was just really tragic. It was hard for the band to recover after that. They kind of had to restructure, but they kept going. They kept making music and all that stuff. And this is just, this is an amazing record. It's very, there's like a lot of Irish themes in there. It sounds kind of Irish, some of the music. There's even some Indian feel to some of the songs. There's some rocking tracks. There's some laid back tracks. But A Sailor's Life is probably my favorite. It's very, oh man, it's long. A lot of these songs are long, and it almost reminds me of The Doors a little bit, just like The Doors, the end, kind of how it kind of chugs along. But this is a really fantastic record. This is one, like, you may not pick it up and listen to it and like it right away. You got to give it some time, but it is really worth it. Very, very good album. Unhalf Bricking. And I always wondered where the name come from, Unhalf Bricking. There's apparently some game, I'd never heard of it, but it's a game that people play in the car when they're driving, and they were driving from one gig to the next, and basically you come up with a root word, and then you add letters to it, either the front or the back, and whoever can't add any more letters or adds the last letter ends up losing. So you try to add as many letters and make as long of a word as you can. It's called Ghost. And so that's where that came up with. Sandy Denny, I think, lost on that word, but Unhalf Bricking. So that's a little fact for you. This is another one I got, Groundhogs Hogwash. This is a U.S. press. Groundhogs is a phenomenal band. If you like blues rock, it's like psychedelic, a little bit psychedelic, but it's, 95% blues rock, and it's very good. I love Groundhog stuff. They have one, Blues Obituary is one of my favorites. Split's another one, but all their stuff is really, really killer. Tony McPhee, the guitar player, that's his face right here. Unbelievable dude. I mean, crazy good player. This is another one I've been wanting. Meryl Fankhauser and the HMS Bounty Things. This is a really good Psych record. This is a super clean copy in the shrink. Usually when you find these, they're all beat up. But this is kind of an iconic Psych record. Some very good songs on it. Kind of early on, it's more in the pop Psych vein, but as it goes on, it gets a little harder as it goes. And there's some really good, if you like that psychedelic fuzz, but there's a lot of really good solid songs on here and a lot of good fuzz guitar later on in the album. And it's a really, really solid Psych album. If you're looking for a hard rock, and this is not really hard rock, but it's got some of that fuzz guitar in it. It's a really good record. I've been looking for that for a long time. Great, 1968, great stuff. So my kids are laughing in the other room if you can't hear them. Usually I make these videos when everyone's asleep, but tonight I was like, I'm getting bed a little early, so you're probably watching this tomorrow. But anyways, this is Sunday night. All right, you didn't need to know that. But next album is the Naked Angels soundtrack, and this is a promo copy on Straight. Naked Angels was a movie. I don't think it was a good movie, but I haven't seen it. I've looked up, done some research on it, I haven't watched it. But regardless, in a lot of these cases, the movie may not be great, but the soundtrack is. And the soundtrack on this is nuts. It's really, really good. So as you know, there's a lot of biker movies in the late 60s. This was Jeffrey Simmons did like almost everything on this record. He played in the Mothers, but he plays bass, guitar, keys, everything. I mean, the dude's a crazy good musician, but he did this whole soundtrack, wrote and recorded, I think, all the instruments, I believe. From the research I've done, it sounds like, because I was listening to this, I was like, man, who's the guitar player on this? Because I just thought he played bass, and I did some digging, and I think he's a guitar player. But I mean, it's really good hard rock. It's biker stuff, really good hard rock, but good guitar licks, really solid. It's like a solid psychedelic hard rock record, and it's one, I've seen a couple people talk about it. But I'd never heard it, and I saw this in the attic and I did the attic dig a month or so ago. And I found this, and I was like, oh man, I got to get this because I got to hear it. And finally got it, and it's super clean. I mean, look at that spine. You cannot ask for a cleaner copy. And I'll show you the promo. It's got that beautiful straight promo. But yeah, this is a really great record. So I've been listening to this, digging on it. Like, man, Jeffrey Simmons, amazing. And then I get this record. This is when my ties start happening. So this is called Stepson. Phenomenal record. This is a hard rock record. I've seen it around, but never really listened to it. And I got a collection in this week that had a couple really good hard rock gems in it. Had a bang record. I put it up on the wall at the shop. It sold immediately. I had a couple other heavy hitters. I had a lot of good, solid classic rock stuff. And what's funny is the guy that had this collection, he said he had it out at a yard sale, and that some guy came and sat on his phone and looked up every single record on his phone and picked out like 50 and bought them and didn't buy any of the rest of them. So this is one he didn't buy. And the next one I'm going to show that he didn't buy. He missed on some heavy ones, and I don't know what he was thinking. This is not like crazy. This is like a $40 or $50 record, but this is, I mean, I'm talking really good hard rock. Some solid songs on here. It kind of shocked me how good this was. It was very, very good. So I'm looking at the back cover, reading the credits, and I see Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons played on this record. So Jeffrey Simmons, who was in The Mothers, he did the Naked Angel soundtrack. And then now he appears on this record. So I was like, man, that's really cool. Started doing some more digging. Found out this is basically the same band as Touch. I've talked about this record before, but it's been a while. Touch is a, look at this. Really cool interactive cover. Really weird artwork, if we're going to be honest here. But look at these guys. They're just floating in outer space. Or in the atmosphere somewhere. But this is a really great Psych album. Some Psych heads say it's too proggy. Some prog heads say it's too psychy. But for me, when I love both, it's just killers right there in the middle. Fantastic record. And this is one I always loved. And this was one of the earlier weird albums that I found. And man, I ate it up. But it was just really good guitar stuff. I just loved it. I've loved this record. It's very, very good. So anyways, but this is the same band as Stepson. The only difference is the drummer. So that was kind of cool because this is like 74, 75, and this one's late 60s. So very cool connection there. The next one that I got from that collection that was really cool is this Giant. It's on Mercury. Show you the label there. But this is a really good record. And again, this is one that the cover, I don't even think I'd ever seen this cover before, but when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's going to be good. Threw it on. It was great, man. It's so good. What I will show you is kind of funny about this back cover is just take a moment to look at the members' faces. They're all there. They're all taking a group photo, except for one guy. This guy right here who called in sick, he didn't show up that day. Because they, like regular Michael Scott, photoshopped his face in there. He is definitely not there. Pretty funny. That's like his driver's license photo. But anyways, Giant is really, really good record. The back, it just kind of has a write-up about how there's so many new albums. Who cares? Nobody's going to make an album, anything like nobody's ever heard. But this one's close. This one is a very laid-back record. It basically says, this is a record, just put it on and let it do it to you. That's what it said. Just let it happen. Let it do it to you is what it said. So, but this is, it's got like, the band has like 9 members. Not to mention, that's not even counting the horn section. So, basically, it consisted of a bunch of people that wrote a bunch of really good songs and put them together. And dude, you would think this is like a hard rock record, but it's not. It is like funk. Funky funk. So, there's, I don't know, there's some cool stuff about this record. The lady that does, like, there's a lot of female vocals on this, not the whole thing. There is some male vocals too, but her name is Krista Thompson. She does, and that's her right there. She's the only female in the whole band, as it is with a lot of these old groups that have female vocalists, but she just really, really good female vocals. There's a couple songs on here that are almost like, I think Queen of Downs is one that she does. And it is like, it reminds me of Betty Davis funk. It's really good. There are some rocking guitar solos in here. There's some really good guitar effects, but this is one. It is funky. It's got a really tight rhythm section, really good drums and bass interactive stuff. I mean, it's dope. If you like that type of thing, it is really, really, really good. So check that out. It's called Giant. Well, the title of the album is What's in This Life for You, Giant. Krista Thompson. Also, I found out most of these guys on that album never made anything else, or they didn't. You know, it wasn't recorded. But Krista Thompson was in Joe Bird and the Field Hippies, and this is a really good. This is a little tag. I've had this forever, but this is a really good psychedelic record. It's not too expensive. You can get them pretty easily, but this is a fantastic record. Really good stuff. So she was in that. Next one is Mutsy, Light of Your Shadow. This is a really, really cool record. Man, produced by Dennis Coffey. Dennis Coffey is one of the most insane funk Stax guitar players. Really amazing. Like, a lot of his albums are just choice stuff. Dennis Coffey's incredible. But this Mutsy it's a really good band. It's got a lot of influence on it. A lot of it's complex. Like, there's some numbers that are just straightforward blues rock, and then some of it's like almost like jazz rock, fusion-y, and then a lot of it's like hard rock and a little bit proggy. So it's a really good record. It's on Sussex. A lot of that stuff is really good. Dennis Coffey was on that label. Rodriguez was on that label. Bill Withers was on that label. A lot of really good stuff on Sussex. But this is a really good record. Kind of surprised me how good it was. But a friend of mine recommended it to me and brought me a copy, and it is real good. Real good guitar work on here. Great stuff. Another one, I've had this for a while. I don't think I've showed it, but I haven't talked very much about it. This is the Druids of Stonehenge, Creation. Incredible record, incredible band. They started in 1965. They were in New York. They moved to Los Angeles, I think somewhere in California. Anyways, they moved to start really pursuing their band and their career and all that stuff. They played around, but they made this record, Creation, which is a dope record. This is tough to find, very rare. It's on Uni, and it is it's dynamite. Look at that back cover. But it has some original songs on here, but it's got a really good rendition of I Put a Spell on You, Screaming Jay Hawkins. Really, really good stuff. It's got several. It's got Sign DC, which is a Love cover. It's got It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. It's a Bob Dylan cover. But it's got a lot of really good original tracks on it, too. And I actually think I like the original tracks better because I feel like that's really them and they really go for it. And on the covered versions, I think they're a little bit laid back, except for I Put a Spell on You. Lead singer is just like killing that song. Very, very good. That's a great cover. But anyways, this is a fantastic record. And what's really funny is I was doing some digging on it. They just put out a record. Like an original record, all original music, 2020, they just put it out. And it's okay. Listen to this one. It's good record. I mean, it's got some cool steel guitar and stuff on it, but that record is better in my opinion. Next one, I found this one also in that collection with the Attic stuff. This is Pink Fairies. What a Bunch of Sweeties. This is a really cool cover. It took some time looking at to realize what was on it. I've seen the cover a number of times, but there's a bunch of like pins on the front. There's a Doors pin. There's a Pink Fairies pin. There's a Jimi Hendrix pin. There's a Canned Heat pin. So there's pins from a bunch of different bands. Some really, really cool stuff on there. But this is Pink Fairies is a band that you would probably hear the name and be like, I'm not going to be into that. But they're amazing, like biker, hard rock, really good stuff. This one's got some juicy, juicy guitar licks on it. I got this in that Attic, like I said. I've been listening to it here and there, taking it to the shop with me, throwing it on when I can. And man, this is a really, really cool record. Inside has a comic book gatefold. Very cool record. Moving along here. This is a really cool album. This is the Far East Family Band, Parallel World. This is a Japanese prog album, And just look at that cover, man. How cool is that? But it's just really cool. 1976. It is very, it was produced by Klaus Schultz, which is Asherah Temple, Tangerine Dream. You know, he's amazing. But this is very much in the same vein as like Asherah Temple. It's like it gets started really softly and it comes in, it's very ambient and a lot of noises, but it is like prog and space rock. As the album progresses, it kind of starts chugging along, and there's some really killer synthesizer stuff on here. Amazing stuff. This is a doozy of a record. It's one that you got to give it some time to, but it warms up and it gets going, and it's just really good. But that's some good Japanese prog for you, which leads me to this Japanese hard rock, Shinki Chan. Shinki Chan is an incredible guitar player. This is, I guess you would call Shinki Chan and Friends. This is one I've been looking for a long time. Original pressings of this are $2,000, so I'm totally fine getting a reissue. This is a really good quality reissue. Got it from Rockadrome website. Really good website for hard rock reissues, and they have some originals on there too. Some really good stuff. So, but this is crazy acid hard rock, early 1970s killer stuff. Shinki Chan, they have like he was on Speed, Glue, and Shinki. Obviously, he played in Food Brain, which is another really good Japanese hard rock band. But just a iconic Japanese hard rock guitar player. And I'm telling you, this is a must hear if you like that really heavy, fuzzy, psychedelic hard rock. This is it, man. This is about as good as it gets for me. Really good stuff. And I showed that in my live video. I also showed this in my live video. I just gotten it the other day. This is Flea Topi O Uomini. I said in my video that I thought this was South American. It is not. This is Italian hard rock. Really good stuff. Fantastic record. The originals are impossible to find. This is a reissue. Been looking for a reissue for a while. Stoked to get that one. Some of my past videos I've talked about this Victor Perino. Victor Perino's Kingdom Come. This I've been listening to like crazy. It's a fantastic, really killer prog record. I won't talk anymore about it. I've talked a ton about it, but he was a super underrated, fantastic synthesizer player. Very, very revolutionary. Music would not be the same, I don't think, without him. And I'll tell you why. Been listening to this. When I tracked this down, I did a lot more research on him, and he was just a really innovative player. But he was in, most notably, Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come. I just got this record, been looking for it for a little while. This is the US price. It's not worth very much. It's like a $15 record, not crazy or anything. But this is a crazy good record. Really good space rock. You guys know Arthur Brown. He is in The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Arthur Brown's a really good vocalist. Out there, crazy. He painted his face before anybody else did it. It's said that Kiss and Alice Cooper got the face painting idea from Arthur Brown. This is a seminal, essential, late 60s Psych masterpiece, 1969. Great stuff. So you guys, this is pretty common. Most people know about that. This is just Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come, self-titled. And this is a really good record. It had old Googe Harris is the guy's name who played synthesizer and stuff. Still a very good record. Really killer stuff. I just found both of these. Great stuff. I've been looking for this for a while. This is an original UK press. But this is the one I was really after. This is Journey, 1974. This is when Arthur Brown got Victor Perino's in his band, playing synthesizer and all that stuff. And this is known as the first record to ever feature the drum machine. And it's really cool. Like, this is said to be one of those records that's way ahead of its time. When you think about this record, when you hear it, you almost think it's like in the early 80s. You know, it's way ahead of its time, and it's iconic for it featuring the drum machine. I'm not wild about things with the drum machine in it, but with Victor Perino, he uses it in a really proggy way, and then also, you know, that makes this record really cool. But a lot of synthesizer, a lot of crazy stuff in this record, really good. But you can definitely hear Victor Perino shine on this little bit. But I'm telling you, if that's your thing, you can hear it on this record. It's there, but in his album, Victor Perino's Kingdom Come, it is in your face. It's 1975, the next year, and this is just is heavy. It is nuts, man. I can't say that enough. Really good stuff. You can find that video on YouTube. But thank y'all for watching this video. I try to do these every week so you guys can kind of see where my brain's at, what I'm listening to, what I'm enjoying personally as a collector. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. Check out some of my other videos. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.